It is time for the main event of Inauguration Day. Our matchup for the main event is for the 270 Competitive League Bruiserweight Championship. We have number one ranked Peter, aka Triple S, with a record of 7 wins, 2 losses, and 4 wins via submission. And he is facing Nehemiah, aka Heinz Mayo, playing as Clinton 92. Nehemiah ranked number 2 with 7 wins, 4 losses, and 3 wins via submission. Let's see how these two competitors kick off our main event. Again, Peter Triple S playing as Tulsi Gabbard, Nehemiah, aka Heinz Mayo, playing as Clinton 92. This match is getting started here. Big Conservative entered by Triple S. Meanwhile, 1 pip into New York, start by Heinz Mayo. Now, two main reasons why this is our main event instead of the World Heavyweight, instead of the 270 Competitive League Heavyweight Championship. This match is actually being recorded on Inauguration Day. So this will be the main event, the last match going on. But the primary reason is that the Bruiserweight division has been the most competitive division throughout Season 1. You can see that by looking at these two competitors. Though Peter played 2 less games than Nehemiah did, in their regular season matchup, Peter was able to get the victory over Nehemiah, and he was able to get 4 submission victories, meaning he made 4 opponents forfeit, while Heinz Mayo was able to get 3 forfeit victories. So that's the deciding factor of what made Peter number 1 and Nehemiah number 2. I was actually able to finish in 3rd place, and I got 8 wins and 3 losses, but I only had 2 submissions. Nehemiah and Peter both beat me, with Nehemiah beating me and causing me to forfeit. So it was tightly contested in the top 3, and it was tightly contested amongst many of the competitors. It felt like any game could go either way, and so we are concluding Inauguration Day with this Bruiserweight matchup, hoping for a competitive matchup as Big Conservative is brought to the 4th by Triple S. We're getting set up for Town and Gown, a pip into Massachusetts, Utah, and New Hampshire, and we have another national group being entered here by Peter going into Youth Vote. So it appears we are going to see 2 different strategies in this matchup. You have Peter Triple S going for a national group strategy here to start things off. He's got a 40% boost in Big Conservative and Youth Vote. Meanwhile, Clinton 92, as you can see, he does not have a bonus greater than 25% with Youth Vote and Women's Movement. I know some players don't like to go into national groups unless they're at least 30%. So instead, he's looking to quickly pick up that 25% Town and Gown bonus, and I'm guessing then try to get into High Tech with the 20% bonus and AA with the 25% bonus. So already an interesting start here as both opponents electing to take 2 different paths to victory here early on. DC is entered by Heinz, and Delaware. Georgia pipped into Louisiana by Triple S. We're going to see the Town and Gown bonus as Nehemiah gets set up for High Tech as well. At the same time, you have Triple S getting set up in Old South. A nice play there by Nehemiah, pipping into Virginia, making sure it's not a sure thing for Triple S to get that Old South bonus. Triple S elects to not get that Youth Vote bonus quite yet, Town and Gown picked up by Heinz Mayo, 93.5K. Peter saved. He's at 500K this round. He's going to hope to try to pick up Old South, I'm guessing. Otherwise, he may try to pick up Youth Vote and pressure some of those states that Heinz has. These two competitors have been in the lounge for a long time. I'm sure they've played each other many times. In their one matchup in Season 1, as mentioned earlier, Peter was able to get the victory over Heinz Mayo, which contributed to him being ranked number 1. They both ended up with 7 wins, though Peter was not able to complete 2 of his games. Let's see what turn 4 brings here. Arizona entered. We got a clash. 200K wiped away there for both competitors in Florida, as Peter is getting set up in swing states. New Hampshire locked in. Pennsylvania entered by Triple S. Washington entered. Wisconsin entered. And there's the Youth Vote. So instead of trying to make a push for Old South, he gets Youth Vote, does Triple S, and gets set up for swing state. Nehemiah, though, slowing down that effort to get swing state by pipping twice into Florida and blocking 200K. Now, after that block, we see the cash balance is pretty much dead even here. You have Peter with 2 national groups, and you have Nehemiah with that 1 Town and Gown state group. But it appears that he could potentially, I believe, pick up high tech on this turn, and I think that's a 20% boost for him. And that well-executed block really slows down Peter's plan to get swing states. Peter is a known swing state lover. Loves to play through swing state. Let's see what he can do here. Pressure in Arizona from Heinz. Delaware brought to the 3rd. Georgia brought to the 3rd. It looks like he's going to try to pick up Old South. Iowa pipped into by Heinz. Louisiana to the 3rd. Pressure in Massachusetts. Pressure in Maryland as it's brought to the 3rd. Michigan to the 4th. North Carolina brought to the 3rd by Triple S. Utah to the 3rd. What do we see in Virginia? Virginia goes to Triple S. Are we going to see that high-tech bonus? We sure do. 120K high-tech bonus for Heinz. Meanwhile, Triple S getting the 57K Old South bonus. I think this has been well played so far. The early upper hand I would give to Nehemiah, a.k.a. Heinz Mayo. Instead of trying to duke it out with Triple S in the Old South in the swing states right away, he quickly gets Town and Gown and now quickly gets high tech. Arizona swipe there. California already entered. Florida is brought to the 3rd. Nevada brought to the 3rd. Virginia, some insurance there, but nothing going. So we are going to see that swing state bonus 120K for Triple S. You saw California entered there by Heinz Mayo, as Heinz has over 100K cash advantage. We are now tied up with state groups, high tech and Town and Gown for Heinz, Old South and swing for Triple S. I would not be surprised if we see a 3-corner attempt here at some point by Heinz, since he's already in California. Getting California, at least at this point, is not going to get him many additional bonuses unless he also tries to go for oil and gas here. Arizona nearly locked in. There's California to the third pip, and he is entering into those oil and gas states. Meanwhile, Triple S entering into Illinois, Mississippi, North Dakota entered by Heinz and New Mexico, Wisconsin to the third, West Virginia entered by Heinz, and Wyoming. So getting set up for oil and gas. I do think we're going to see a three-corner attempt here by Heinz. Peter low spending, though, and getting a huge over 300K cash advantage here. He's going to look to get the AA bonus here. You'd have to imagine, though, he has to pip into Texas to block that three-corner attempt, because it appears that Heinz will pick up oil and gas, giving him the upper hand to enter in to Texas. Let's see what bonuses Tulsi has here. 15% in manufacturing. Yeah, so Tulsi is definitely much more a national group candidate, while Clinton is much more of a state group candidate. And both players playing to their candidate strengths. Here in this main event, we already have a close matchup. A little over 20 EV difference here, 27 EVs. Fast-paced action here. If you watched the heavyweight championship match, we were not even entered into a state at this point, as you saw a big conservative clash over and over and over again. This matchup, the opposite. Ton of EVs already on the board for both candidates, spreading out across the map quickly as they're both playing two different paths here. Alabama brought to the third by Triple S. Alaska entered. Arizona locked in by Heinz. Colorado brought to the third, pressure by Triple S. Connecticut entered. DC just one pip there. Georgia pressure. Illinois to the third for Triple S. Iowa just one pip spent. Ooh, a big time block in Michigan. One pip for Heinz, blocking the swipe from Triple S as North Dakota's brought to the third. New Jersey entered. We're going to have a Latino battle here. New Mexico to the third. Oklahoma pipped into. Pressure in Pennsylvania from Heinz. South Carolina to the third. South Dakota entered. What do we got in Texas? There's two pips there in Texas by Triple S, as we are going to see oil and gas, I believe, picked up. Yep, 75K picked up there by Heinz. Nice work getting that bonus. Even better work, though, spending 45K, one pip in Michigan to block 180K from Triple S. As we see the cash advantage swing again, this time slightly in the favor of Heinz Mayo. On this turn, you wanted Peter there. He could have got that AA bonus by swiping Michigan. I think in hindsight, maybe he would have gone for Mississippi to secure it, but he was going for the gutsy move there. Did not pay off. Let's see if he goes back to Michigan in the upcoming turns. I would assume he would go Texas here to pick up manufacturing, as that's the last available, 15% there, last available state group for him, as Town and Gown is definitely out of reach at this point and wouldn't make sense for him to get. Let's see if Peter can find a way to pick up manufacturing and AA on this turn, as Alaska's brought to the third, DC brought to the third. Illinois, a swipe attempt blocked by Triple S as he spends insurance in Louisiana, insurance spent there, more insurance in North Carolina. New Jersey pressure. Oklahoma brought to the third. South Dakota brought to the third. Texas brought to the third. Virginia nearly locked in. Let's see what we got. Agriculture picked up. Manufacturing picked up by Triple S. So instead of trying to get both AA and manufacturing, also agriculture, I didn't realize that would be in play quite yet. He just focuses on that Texas route. Doesn't get AA for the time being, but well played there, as we are basically dead even with cash and nearly dead even with EV count. AA not yet picked up. There was a big swipe attempt there, nearly a clash, but Peter defends it with one additional pip in Illinois. I'm already happy choosing this as the main event, because just like the whole season had been for the Bruiserweights, this matchup is tightly contested. A great matchup against two fantastic players and veterans of 270. Again, this match is for the inaugural 270 Competitive League Bruiserweight Championship. Out of the three title designs, I think this one was my favorite to design. Kind of got that hardcore, rough and tough championship look to it. We have a big swipe in Colorado by Triple S. We have a big swipe in Georgia by Heinz. Illinois, some insurance spent there. Iowa to the third. A big swipe in Louisiana by Heinz. Minnesota entered into. Mississippi to the third. Missouri entered into. Nevada locked in, but nothing going there. New Jersey, big spend by Triple S as he's going for that Latino vote as he swipes New Mexico. He enters into Ohio. Pennsylvania brought to the third. That's a swipe there by Heinz, and then a swipe back by Triple S in Wyoming. Let's see how things shake out now. AA bonus. What a pickup there by Heinz as he picks up export as well. Meanwhile, Triple S picking up Latino. Wow, what a turn there. Some major swipes shaking up the landscape of this matchup. You had big-time swipes in Louisiana and Georgia leading to that AA pickup by Heinz. You had major swipes in New Mexico and Colorado. Big insurance spent in New Jersey to ensure that Latino vote would go to Triple S. You have all 10 state groups now in play, and they are split dead even, 5-5. AA could easily swing directions. Latino could swing again. Export, they're definitely not set in stone, these state groups. Three states locked in so far, with Arizona, Nevada, and New Hampshire. This has been a fast-paced matchup. Players spreading out, getting those bonuses quickly. Very curious to see how they play this next turn. I would not be surprised if there's a big Michigan attempt here with that swing state money. Alabama pressure by Heinz, pressure by Triple S in D.C. and in Delaware. Florida insurance spent $200K. Georgia is swiped back and locked by Triple S. Illinois, a swipe attempt and a huge block by Triple S in Illinois. Maryland, some insurance. Defending the Michigan swipe that wasn't there is Heinz, but he does swipe and lock New Mexico. These Bruiserweights throwing left and rights as Oregon has entered. South Carolina pressured. Tennessee brought to third, pressure by Heinz. Virginia is locked in. How do we look after turn 11? AA is taken away. A huge Huge takeaway there by Triple S. Clinton had that nice AA bonus. I think he had 125K. That is taken away. And Triple S does that by a huge defense of Illinois and a huge swipe of Georgia. He also brings Tennessee to the third. Heinz was going for that Latino swipe. He was able to get New Mexico, and if he would have taken Illinois, we could have seen a lot of momentum go to his favor. Triple S knew that, though, knew he had to defend Illinois, did not go for Michigan. Heinz was thinking, like I was, that there might be a Michigan swipe, but Triple S, the veteran, knowing that Illinois is more important at this stage of the game, there is no pressure. Florida was entered, though, a reminder, though Heinz is not at the first pip. They started out, I think, in round 2 with that clash, 200K spent. So Heinz is entered into Florida, but none of the other Big Four, the other 3 Big Four states are not entered into. You have pressure and swing state money in Pennsylvania. You have pressure and swing state money in Michigan to spend. The Latino vote is neck and neck. The AA vote, neck and neck. Could we see some more state groups changing hands here in turn 12? Alabama insurance. Arkansas entered. D.C. locked in by Heinz. Swipe in Delaware by Triple S using that new AA money. Hawaii entered. Idaho, 2 pips, goes to Heinz. Meanwhile, Illinois is locked by Triple S. Indiana entered in. Kansas entered in. Are we seeing a ballot push? It seems like a Kentucky entered in. Louisiana swipe attempt blocked by Heinz. Maryland locked in. We are seeing a ballot attempt. Will it be successful? Maine, 2 pips in. Mississippi, nothing going. Montana, 2 pips in. Nebraska, we might see a successful ballot push here by Heinz. Pennsylvania, big time swipe, 1 pip ahead for Triple S. But it may not matter if he's not entered into enough states here for this ballot attempt. Are we going to the ballot? Export taken away. But are we going to the ballot? Are there enough EVs locked in? There are not enough EVs locked in. I think there would have been if Heinz was able to lock in Louisiana. You got 6, 17, 22, 41, 57, 70, 80, 83, 87. Unless I'm missing, he might have been just short either way. But wow, what a momentum shift there. Heinz going for the ballot, not quite able to get it. The huge move there for Triple S was getting that Pennsylvania swipe. Let's see what turn 13 brings. Pressure in Alaska. We're going to see pressure in all those states here by Triple S. Colorado, a beautiful 1 pip swipe by Heinz. Delaware, a swipe back and lock by Heinz. Hawaii stays to Heinz. Indiana pressure. Pressure in Iowa from Triple S. Pressure in Kansas and Kentucky. What do we see in Louisiana? That is locked by Heinz. We're going to go to the ballot now. Maine pressured. Michigan, some insurance. We're seeing pressures into every state here from Triple S. Even New York. Ohio brought to the third. Oregon, a swipe by Triple S. That's a great move to get into position there for the ballot. But a swipe in Tennessee. A great move by Heinz to counteract. Let's see. AA is picked back up with that swipe in Tennessee. But by getting Ohio to the third, Triple S picks up export. He has the national group advantage 2-0, and he has the state group advantage 6-4, as I believe we're going to go to the ballot. 303 for Heinz, 235 for Triple S. No, we're not going to the ballot. Excuse me. I thought we were going to the ballot on that turn. Miscalculated. I'm pretty sure Heinz was wishing the ballot would have been on that turn, because now he has pressure in all of those states. I thought this was going to come down to the ballot, and it still might, but Triple S could cause some serious damage here with the cash advantage and pressure in all these states as he locks in Alabama. Colorado is locked in by Heinz. Now we are definitely going to the ballot. Big time swipe in Indiana for Triple S. Big time swipe in Iowa and locked by Triple S. Kentucky also a swipe. Things are looking up for Triple S. Michigan locked in by Heinz. Minnesota. Well spent money there to get into position, and he is now at 270 is Heinz. Oh, and he gets Heinz to spend big time in New York with that pressure as he swipes Washington as well. Expertly executed by by Triple S there. Heinz, worried about that swipe in New York, spends big money he wish he had back here for the ballot turn. The cash advantage is slim, though, for Triple S. And also, Triple S has a lot of money in Old South and swing. But he also has a lot of money in those states that he has control of. It's going to be interesting here. That was a beautiful turn 14 by Triple S, getting into great position by getting Minnesota, by getting Washington. Let's see, as we come down to this ballot, this awesome matchup, fast-paced matchup, non-stop action, swipes back and forth, and here we go. A swipe attempt in Alaska is blocked by Heinz. Arkansas is swiped by Triple S. Money spent in Florida, nothing going. Hawaii is swiped by Triple S as his EV lead is growing. And he swipes Idaho as well. Indiana, insurance, nothing going. Kansas, a swipe. It's been swipe city for Triple S. But he loses Kentucky, so some EVs going back to Heinz. A swipe in Minnesota. Big money spent in Minnesota by Heinz. A swipe in Mississippi. Montana is held by Heinz. North Dakota held. Nebraska is swiped by Triple S. Insurance in New Jersey, Oklahoma held by Heinz. Oregon, a swipe attempt is blocked. Rhode Island held. South Carolina held. South Dakota held. Vermont. Washington, the swipe attempt is blocked, and that might be it. West Virginia held. Wyoming, a swipe, but it is not enough. Wow. I think it came down to that Washington swipe attempt that Triple S blocked. And we have a photo finish here. What a match between Heinz, Mayo, Nehemiah versus Peter, aka Triple S. Triple S able to eke out that victory, 280 EVs to 258. And our main event concludes with your first ever 270 competitive league champion, Bruiserweight champion, Peter, aka Triple S. Thank you for an awesome main event, gentlemen. Thank you all for tuning in to Inauguration Day. And thank you everyone who participated in this 270 competitive league. All the chats were extremely fun. Matchups were extremely fun. I had a blast recording them all. Thank you all, and congratulations to Peter for this victory, becoming our first ever Bruiserweight champion.